For real, let's start.
Okay, we are the Knights of the Slice. We got a packed crowd here tonight. I want everyone to check under your chairs right now, because there is nothing under there. Because that's what you're going to get out of this panel, nothing. Now to start, we are Knights of the Slice and Toy Pizza. I'm Jesse. This is Nikki. Correct? Nikki?
Nicholas, yeah.
Nicholas, sorry. And you may know us from a YouTube program called TOYPIZZA. You may know us from running Jeb Bush's political campaign, which did not go well. Please clap. And if only they had done it back then. If only you would clap for Jeb Bush. And then we have Erwin and Ant, our sculpting duo who make the action figures. And then our good friend Takashi, who do these babies, these high-end Japanese collectibles. And I just want to say, you're all good looking. We got a good looking crowd. Everybody looks really good. And I love you all. I love all of you.
So what we're going to do is kind of walk you through how we went from beginning to a YouTube channel, talking about toys on YouTube, and then going from there to making our own action figures, collaborating with amazing brands like 1000 Toys, and two successful Kickstarters, and now our most recent debut here at DesignerCon 2018. We have our own vinyl in collaboration with Clutter Magazine. You guys could clap for that if you want to, it's fine.
I get the feeling they can't hear a word we're saying very clearly.
Is that true? I mean, I was screaming earlier. You guys can hear me okay? Yeah. Lower. It's loud. Okay, I couldn't tell. Because they set the standard in the speakers, and I'm like, I had to be louder than that.
Sam's saying higher. Sam's saying go louder. Don't go louder. Is this better for you guys? This is now an ASMR panel, and I'm combing your hair.
So, first things first, Knights of the Slice.
Quiet. Just a pinch quiet.
Jesse, why don't you just take us through and from our beginnings to where we are now, Knights of the Slice.
Okay, so I'm gonna start at the end. Where we are now is I'm wearing slippers because my feet hurt. These are Cowboy Bebop slippers. They're available at, I can't remember the booth's name, but I highly recommend it. So that's where we are today. This all began as a YouTube program at Toy Pizza. Of course, stop. Let me finish. Toy Pizza. They go crazy again. Guys, go ahead, stop. I know, you like Toy Pizza. Come on. With Knights of the Slice being the sort of mascot of Toy Pizza that we created in a toy line, which we launched on Kickstarter
in 2015 with the production goal of $10,000, and we funded for 13,
but that's fine. It's only $1,000, so that's fine.
I'm sure you guys all remember that. You guys backed, right? Okay, cool.
I still don't think they can hear what we're saying at all. It sounds clearer. Is it clearer on this? This is better?
What if I put my mouth over the mic? Like,
give it up for the techies who set this up and the people running the panel. Thank you guys.
On the left side, stage left, and we got
thank you to the
Ron and Juan
running the panel.
Great duo, part of the DCON crew. Ron and Juan.
101.
So, Knights of the Slice. We had a successful Kickstarter, we funded, and then we went into production. And a lot of people ask, why is toy making so expensive?
I didn't question.
Why is toy making so expensive?
Toy making. Okay, so we get asked all the time, how do I make a toy? What's my first step? And I always say, take $10,000 and flush it down a toilet, and you will have saved $5,000. Because that is how profoundly expensive it is to make toys, and how very hard it is to see a return on that money and to, to continue to be in business. It's very capital intense, I would say. Thank you. You want to follow up? No?
So, why does it cost so much? For Knights of the Slice, the main production cost would be for the mold. So we paid for a mold to make these figures using the Glio system, and we're able to make figures, specifically the Knights of the Slice, that's in the same way why we have so many stormtroopers in the run of Star Wars, or say your G.I. Joe characters. It's basically repainted versions. And as the line continues, again, since 2015, we've put our own money into making new figures. So thankfully we use Glyos, and we have the ability to upgrade and mix and match different pieces. So with our standard Knight, our first upgraded figure was Vector Jump, which was a figure that came with additional parts that you can put on top of any pre-existing Knight of the Slice.
That's right, and I want to remind everybody, check out the Geico booth where the DJ is spinning some hot licks. If you want a good deal on insurance, check out Geico. You can hear them. They're blasting the tunes.
But this actually brings us to Erwin and Ant, because when we went from Knight of the Slice to Vector Jump, and then most recently Rift Killer, they were heavily involved in scoping the next two figures.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. I'll take that one. We prefer to do traditional sculpting. So a lot of toys nowadays are made with the 3D process, where there's not a ton of hands-on, in the production and development. So we like using Ant and Erwin, was it? Sure, sounds good to me. Because these guys you guys are truly artists, old school artists. You like to get your hands dirty. You use archaic materials. You have smocks. He's got drills, like old-timey brain drills. So that's an interesting fact. We do it 2D, not 3D.
Yes.
Would anybody like to ask us a question?
How are we doing on time?
45 minutes? Okay. Oh, still going. Yeah.
We got shirts. We're out of shirts?
No. Okay. So Takashi here represents 1,000 Toys, who it's pretty unheard of for a Japanese manufacturer to be interested in a Western intellectual property, let alone one that is so tiny in comparison to all the other great brands that are out there. So why? Why did you guys do it? Why did you pick us? Was it just because we were good at karaoke?
And also the introduction to the new synth line, where 1,000 Toys would go to other partners like Reelhead and now Pump Drunkers and even Glyos, and take their synthetic human, use that as a base, and take original characters like Knights of the Slice, Next Man, and Aitsu from Pump Drunkers, and use the synthetic human as a base. Why would you do that?
Why? Answer us.
You want the real truth?
Give us the truth.
Okay. We looked at your designs. It looked nice, but the real great point about it was that it had pizza cutters.
It was pizza.
Yeah. Where else in the world can you buy a 1/12 size pizza cutter?
Nowhere, I would say. It all makes sense.
I checked on Amazon.
Give it up for pizza. You got any pizza fans in the audience? Give it up for pizza, guys.
Have you guys ever heard of a pizza before? Let's make some noise for some pizza.
You guys like pepperoni?
What are some of your favorite toppings? Let's hear from mushroom. You guys like mushroom?
We got a mushroom right there.
We got some mushroom in the house. What about some cheese?
Check under your chairs, because there's pizza pies waiting for all of you. Piping hot.
They were from yesterday, though. The staff came in late at night to make sure that they were under the stuff.
There's no pizza. We didn't get the pizza.
Sorry, guys. How are we doing on time?
We got 43 minutes left.
If only we had our freaking slideshow. We could have played a 40-minute movie for you guys.
We did put together a deck full of very informative videos and pictures, and I found out about 30 minutes ago that there is no TV hookup, there's no screen, there's apparently nobody here managing this stuff. We may not even be scheduled for a panel. We may have just walked up here and started this on our own. We got a question in the back from the handsome vampire? Yes, sir. What's that?
Let's give it up for Jesse going into the audience. Getting his hands dirty.
Just over here, yeah? Okay. Hi guys, this is the first first time.
Say your name and where you're from.
Oh, I'm Cam from London. Nice to meet you guys. First time here. Just wanted to know, what have you guys got coming up in the future?
That's a great question from our plant in the audience. I mean, Cam. No. Nikki, you take that one.
I'm going to be honest, the acoustics in this room and the speakers are not loud enough. I couldn't hear your question.
He said, what do you guys have coming up next with those fine toy makers, 1,000 Toys from Japan?
Well, at our booth at 2531, you can preview 2 new styles of the amazing 1,000 Toys collab between Nights of the Slice. We are debuting Miami Vice Night, and Rebel Night.
Legally, we can't say Miami Vice Night, just so it's Vice Night.
Really?
I'll talk to you afterwards.
Okay. Well, you just cost me my job, Cam.
1,000 Toys also, as Nikki said, are collaborating with more and more artists, and we have the first license that have debuted at the show, and you guys are almost totally sold out, correct? So that was a smash hit. So we're going to take credit for that one too. That's on us.
Can we get a round of applause, guys? Thank you.
I love it. Oh, and it's infectious.
Don't be shy. If anyone has a question, just raise your hand or throw one of your shirts that you got at me, and then I'll throw it back. And I think someone is sleeping back there, but I can't tell because he's wearing funny glasses.
Everybody give it up for Ono-san, who is asleep in the audience. There he is.
Oh, there he was.
Wake up, Ono-san. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Ono-san. On time.
Close enough. I'm gonna come around and ask a serious interview question here, guys. Ann, what kind of materials do you like to use when you're sculpting? Ooh, this guy, salty.
What did he say?
You didn't hear him?
I didn't hear anything.
You must not be an artist. Let me ask a question here. Erwin.
Yes.
What is Erwin short for? Sherwin. He goes by Erwin. It saves time. That's a great question.
Get a round of applause.
Round of applause for Erwin.
Thank you.
We can keep going like this until they literally shut us down.
How are we doing on time?
I've only had one cold egg and a pot of coffee. Gabe had a question back there. Gabe, what's your question?
When is it over?
When is this over? Great question. I suppose whenever who's supposed to be working over here comes back and figures out we've hijacked their stage. Thank you for the question.
Yes, you way in the back, behind the Ghostbusters car. Question?
Okay. Yeah, what's your question? Yes, thank you. What's your question? Yes. What's your question? Yeah, well, yeah, we are debuting the Red Knight right here.
Yes, that's a good question. Our DCON exclusive this year is the Red Knight.
It's right here.
It is a new sculpt. We talked about how we took our Knight of the Slice. We had Vector Jump. We have Rift Killer. We also have a Rex Ganon. And our newest sculpt that debuted is Old Knight. That one, yes. And it's like a medieval knight. It comes in clear red. And it's $25 at booth 2531.
Why don't you tell them about this big boy right here?
I don't know. Is it? How many? Use the mic. Okay, that's fine. So moving along from our figures, it's no secret that Jesse and I love vinyl. I'm sure a lot of people here at DCON love vinyl, or the sofoobs, as they call it.
Nobody does.
No one knows? Okay, and this was our latest passion project between Nights of the Slice and Clutter Magazine. And we decided to take artwork from one of our favorite people in the world, Matt, Sexual Yukai, and he did this awesome night design for us. We have stickers at the booth as well, and we kind of decided, like, what would that look like in 3D? How would that transform into the base of a vinyl? And through the amazing team between me, Jesse, Wade, and Clutter, what we call the Mega Night, and this is our first entry into soft vinyl game, and decided to do it in clear glitter, and that debuted here. And when Cam asked what's for the future, Cam's gone, he left. When he asked what do you guys have for the future, we're gonna do a ton more colorways for our soft vinyl.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
We have 40 minutes left, so
only 3.
We don't get paid if we don't fulfill the entire time requirement.
The next panel's here. They're kicking us. They're waving us off.
Oh, thank God. Listen, this has been a small disaster of a panel, and we're very glad you guys came with us. Oh, we got questions. Come on. Why save it now? Okay, let's go. Hold on, I'm coming down. We got a question. We got a question. I'm gonna ask a question from the audience.
How did you all get into toy making from a career perspective, like all of you?
That's a great question.
I'm gonna let Jesse take that because Jesse, a lot of people don't know this, he's been in the industry for many years. Shirt's sticking up, coming off.
Okay, so
how are we doing on time?
Basically, it's 2001. What am I gonna do with my life? I don't know. I'm not going to make it as a stand-up comedian. Nobody's going to give me a microphone and an elevated stage to talk on. So what can I do? I can design toys. How do I do that? I'm flipping through Toy Fair magazine, and I see an ad for Armies of Middle-earth toy line from Lord of the Rings. And I check the copyright line, and there's an address in Deerfield Beach, 2 towns away from where I lived in Florida. South Florida? Anybody in the crowd from South Florida? What's up? Art Institute of Fort Lickerdale? Yeah! So basically, I used my college's business directory and looked up the CEO's name of that toy company, and I cold called him and said I was going to interview him for a school newspaper that didn't exist. And for some reason, he took my call, and he quickly figured out I was full of shit, but he offered me an unpaid internship. So I did that, and I basically cut out thousands of fake packages for Care Bears and glued them together and laminated them on the thousands. I was like a one-man assembly line, and I could tell you everything you need to know about Care Bears if you want to have a sidebar afterwards. It's very dark history, actually.
8 p.m. is the other panel for Care Bears.
And I was very bad at my job, but I was somewhat indispensable because I would do the dirty tasks nobody wanted to do. So eventually they hired me. Then eventually I moved to New York, and I conned my way into a job at New Line Cinema, handling all licensing for Lord of the Rings internationally. I was underqualified. Bad call on their part.
It was a bad movie.
No, it was a great movie. How dare you? And then, I don't know, I hop-skipped around a little bit, and now we're here. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good story. I mean, obviously that's a unique experience. I think a lot of people here, especially at DCON vending, it's a true testament is if you just gotta do it. Someone like Jesse, who I was lucky enough to meet, who's passionate since day one, was taking old drawings of his and carrying them through the years, and today taking those original characters and making figures of them. Here at the convention, you can find so many independent artists that will do what it takes, whether it's soft vinyl, whether it's just resin casting in the garage and getting high off of fumes. You know, they're gonna do it. So I think that, like, and especially when young people come to our booth and they show us amazing fan art, we tell them, like, don't stop, believe in, and just keep drawing and just like,
and hold on to that feeling.
Hold on to that feeling. No, but seriously, like, there are so many, especially online, YouTube is a great place to just kind of figure out, how do I start doing this? What does it take to cast my own pieces? Whether or not it's a kit bash, you want to just mash your Stormtrooper with your Darth Vader helmet and then paint it pink. And then add a T-Rex tail on it. Do it. Just do it, and then eventually the experience, you know, adds up, and then you just become a master of the craft. Or, you, like Jesse suggested, take $10,000, flush it down the toilet, and you would have saved $5,000.
And everybody sends everybody $1, and then you'll have $2. It's complicated, but we had a chart. It's not. Anyway, we had another question, Jordan. Right? Did you have a question? I'm coming to you. Hold on, buddy. Special delivery. One microphone coming in hot.
How are are we doing on time?
39 minutes remaining. So MC guys, for you guys? I like the wall. It's a nice wall.
What toys did you guys grow up with and got you going on this whole thing?
Let's start with Takashi, because that's a great question. We'll move down the line.
Can you repeat the question?
What toys did you grow up with? Takashi, you first. This is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we get a round of applause for the feedback?
All right, Takashi, what toys did you grow up with?
My favorite toy when I was a kid was a Chogokin X-Bomber.
So Chogokin, for those who don't know or might be cool or female, are die-cast, typically robots. They have a lot of weight to them. They're very heavy. You waving at someone that's cool or a female?
Utah.
Okay, fair enough.
I was waving at Utah.
So a Chogokin, probably expensive Japanese toy. Very nice.
My favorite toy was my favorite toy when I was a kid. I still have it, and actually, I bought a new one like 3 years ago for like $300.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Give this guy a raise. He's got expensive tastes. Ann, what would you say?
Hello?
Yeah,
I grew up with He-Man and Marvel toys, the Transformers and stuff like that.
He-Man, Marvel,
Yeah,
Transformers.
80s toys and stuff.
Absolutely. Any He-Man fans in the audience?
Who's a He-Man fan?
Let's hear some noise for He-Man. Erwin?
Pretty much the same. He-Man, Ninja Turtles, Transformers.
Just copying.
And you were saying Gem and the holograms was really
Barbie,
impactful.
Cabbage Patch Kids, small little,
Rainbow Bright,
Rainbow Bar, Strawberry Shortcake.
Strawberry Shortcake. Those, I used to chew on Strawberry Shortcake because they smelled so nice. They did not taste so nice. Nikki?
What's a toy?
Yeah. What is it? What are we? You know, what is a toy?
I think Toy Biz, like any of the Marvel Toy Biz, is what I grew up with, and I was just fascinated with the accessories, the recolors. Like I needed every single Wolverine that they ever made. I needed it, to complete the team. So I needed Cyclops, I needed my Beast. Same thing with Spider-Man. It's like I don't also the animated series for Batman.
Oh.
Those are really good because, like, again, they were so cartoony.
Batman. Any Batman fans in the house? Yeah.
We got any Batman fans in the house?
Okay.
But yeah, and also great question. Thank you so much for asking that. Follow Toy Shiz on Instagram.
At Toy Shiz, one of the best news sites on Instagram for toys. Yeah, it's true.
How are we doing on time?
We have 37 minutes. No, we're going to wrap this up. If anyone has one more merciful question, all right, we'll do two more, and then we got to go. Because they're going to probably arrest us. Okay. Name and location?
Yep. Felix from Los Angeles.
Let's give it up for Felix!
So, since you guys mentioned Strawberry Shortcake or something like that, scented toys, have you guys ever thought about making Knights of the Slice scented figures?
This is good. This is a hot question.
I'll let him take it.
We hope Jamie Egan finds his son.
He's at this panel. I'll pick him up.
You sort of can't do scented toys anymore. It might be toxic. We don't know conclusively, but factories are less interested in having that additive. So, I may have picked up some odd disease from chewing on these, and I don't recommend it. Okay, here we go.
So, what is your stance on using a CNC router machine to carve out molds for your toys?
Nikki, you're the techie, yeah? You don't know what that is,
I
do you?
couldn't hear the question again.
What is your policy on using a CNC machine to make the molds for toys? 3D output, basically.
Oh, like something that Wade would do?
Sure.
I think, again, like technology in today's world, like it's accessible. Wade was showing us 3D turnarounds that was made up of 100,000 polygon shapes, and it didn't hang up his phone at all. And I just think that like whatever is accessible for you and whatever works for you, like maybe it is just working in the garage and using Sculpey. But if you are tech savvy and you can use like 3D rendering programs, definitely do it. I think there's obviously a lot more freedom to play in there, especially if you're familiar with like these programs, and also you can manipulate a 3D field without having to waste materials.
So you're saying it's the environmentally conscious choice?
I couldn't hear what you said.
That's good. Next question. You? All right, last question too. Then we got to wrap it up with a little Spandu Ballet karaoke, I think, right?
I was just curious how you and Nicholas met and first started collaborating together.
Excellent question. How did me and Nikki meet for the first time?
This is a great question, and we're going to let Erwin answer this. How did me and Jesse meet?
Just make something up. That's fine.
I think it was, what year was it? 1992.
I was 5, yeah.
No, the true story is I worked for Fred Seibert. Any Frederator fans here?
Do we have any Frederator fans in the house?
So I worked for Fred Seibert doing some licensing, and Nicky was a very cool looking guy at that office, and he was wearing a RoboCop shirt one day, and I was like, dude, this guy's handsome. I feel weird about this. Let's see where this goes.
It was Ed 209.
Yeah, and then you guys were doing a 24-hour live stream, and they had me on to talk about toys, and that was probably one of the highest rated segments of all time on the channel.
Yeah, the data for that is actually nowhere to be found because it crashed.
There is not a computer large enough to compute how many people were watching us talk about toys. And then you pitched the idea of a Toy Pizza show on Channel Frederator, and they greenlit it, and the rest is history, I guess.
They were nice enough to be like, listen, you should start your own YouTube show, and since we have a ton of followers and you work here, we will let you post your thing on your own channel, but we'll double upload it to promote it. So they were posting our episode on their channel and then saying, hey, go watch it on Toy Pizza. So early on, we amassed over 20,000 subscribers in our first year, and then from there, Jesse and I decided let's take it to Kickstarter and turn this mascot, Night of the Slice, to an action figure. And that's kind of like how we met. I never liked him.
And then you asked me to marry you, and I got ordained. I have my priest credentials with me. I can show you. I am an ordained priest, and I married you guys.
Yes.
And I am getting my midwife certification so I can birth your child.
That's true, yes. And also you're a great, you're just a great friend, too.
Love you, man. Love you, man. All right. I think that does it for Toy Pizza Night of the Slice panel. I want to commend the staff here.
Yeah, can we get a round of applause as loud as you can possibly can? Clap them hands for the DCON staff. Keeping us so hydrated with the waters, getting our names right. Martin Munier.
This is Martin Mooner, Camila Rose Garcia, Jesse Damien. I don't know what the fuck's happening here, folks, but thank you for tolerating this. We love all of you.
But if you really do want an intimate conversation on how to make toys, stop by our booth 2531, and we can actually talk to you on a personal level and not shout at you from up here. It was a weird experience for us, and maybe it's a weird one for you. But also, if you guys have legs, it looks like you have legs, come on up and you guys get a nice free pin.
And finally, Action Figure of the Month Club is on Kickstarter right now. We are doing this massive, ambitious idea to... I love getting mail. I love getting toys in the mail. We are sending people random toys in the mail, all new designs, all new action figures. It's going to be fantastic. And if you miss out on this campaign, which closes in 5 days, you're excommunicated. You're out of the village.
That's 12 figures a year, one every month. You don't know what it is, it's blind. And we funded for 15,000 in under 48 hours.
It's 20,000, but that's fine.